Ba ba ba! Welcome back to it. You are live as live can get with us here on Fucking Around with Porn Stars. We have got a great guest with us today. I have personally known this individual. Goddamn, probably
A
maybe.
long time. I don't say too long. They're gonna think I'm ancient. I'm still young. I'm still strong.
I don't know. I met you really early on
In
through
my
this whole
career, I've been
process.
doing this for almost 7 years, coming into my seventh year now. So
So
a while.
now, one of the things that you do, which is amazing to me, besides the porn and the content and all the stuff,
Mhm.
is you have recently, at least from what I can understand, because as we talked before we got on the air, I've been a little busy with things that
You've
are
been
being
so busy.
said
You've been
about me on the
so
internet.
busy.
I have missed this whole the Minxxx Mission, which
Ooh.
in a roundabout way is, to me, it sounds like now it's not really porn for a cause, even though you're a porn star.
Yes.
It's something else, which we'll get into.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
what I think is so funny is about 20, let's see, 2010. I think that's when I started Concerts for a Cause. Wait, I started my own nonprofit called Concerts for a Cause.
That's
And
awesome.
we would do community concerts, and then we would donate the proceeds to local nonprofits.
Oh, I love that.
And then a buddy of mine 30 miles down the road wanted to do it at his snow cone store. And then all of a sudden it became this huge thing. And then everything was for a cause.
Oh,
I
everything can be.
started seeing cowboys for a cause. I started seeing cars for a cause. If it was something, it was for a cause.
Absolutely.
And so I thought that was kind of a cool deal. We started causes for a cause, and then everybody had a cause. But you are a porn star who is doing essentially the Lord's work with this whole Minxxx Mission thing.
I'm trying my
Uh,
best.
you are amazing. So first of all, tell us a little bit about what this is
Yes.
and how this whole damn thing got started, because this is amazing. Because I look at all the tweets and I see all the various things. And the thing that I love about you is that I can scroll through your Twitter and I'll see something here that says, like, you posted something on September 18th that says the bitch is back, Papa's home, and you've got this photo of your great legs and your great ass. And then I
Phenomenal.
scroll
Great photo.
down, two more tweets, and you're like, well, we're going to be supporting local food banks. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is amazing.
And this is not new to my brand, I will say. It's the most intense I've had to get about something, but this strikes me way too close to home and way too personally, which we'll get into. But
Yes.
I've done charity work throughout my entire career.
Well,
The
yeah.
most, yeah, like we've done charity streams through Chatterbait starting in 2020. Like that was probably when the first one happened. So for five
So you
years,
did do porn for a cause. That's awesome.
I
Or maybe
mean,
it
to
was
some extent,
streaming for a
sometimes.
cause. Camming for a
Yes.
cause. There we go.
Camming for a
That's
cause.
the
That's the
better. That's
one.
the better one. There
I've
we
definitely
go.
cabbed for a cause in the past. And we were so successful. We did a
Amazing.
collaborative show. I prepositioned the idea to a group of friends, and one who had a better computer than I hosted, Rose Carter. The five of us did a long distance collaborative stream. We raised over $5,400 for Ukraine in less than 5 hours.
Fuck.
And that
That's
was impressive. And that
amazing.
was years ago. So the fact that I'm taking the
That's
torch and
wild.
saying, all right, let's do this again, but now I want to see food. I don't want money. I want to see food at my fucking doorstep. And I want to be able to prove to people that impact happens when you choose for it to happen. You make the difference. It's you.
You
We
know,
can.
you know what's funny is last night, uh, I, I host swinger parties too on the side, which is
Ooh,
amazing.
fun. Yeah.
And one of my business partners always over orders on food.
Yeah, that's important. You gotta make sure everyone's
So
fed.
so at the end of the night, our buddy showed up and he's like, "What are you gonna do with these pizzas?" And I'm like, "Take them home, I guess, and we'll make the people in the house here eat the food, I guess. I don't know." And he's like, "No, no, no, no." He goes, "I'm gonna go over to," and I didn't know this even existed in Wichita, Kansas, but apparently in Wichita, Kansas, they have a Skid Row. And he's
Yeah,
like,
you
"I'm
can
just
find
gonna go
us.
donate pizzas to homeless people." And I said, "Okay, cool."
I
They
bet they'd
loaded
love
up the
it.
fucking pizzas and took them to the homeless. And I'm like, "Go, baby, go."
I
So,
did that this afternoon, not pizza, but I went around and my sister and I drove around Nashville and we're handing out lunches and snacks and waters and toiletries. Most people didn't want the toiletries today. It's
yeah.
very cold outside, and I mean, it's miserably cold. The fact that we were able to help anybody is sad because they shouldn't be out there in the first place.
Well, that too.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were able to take shelter in a church because there are so many churches around here, but
That's
I
awesome.
mean, yeah, like it's cold. It's really cold. But we did that this afternoon. I just got home from that a few hours ago. No, not even. We did it for a few hours. I've been home for like 30 minutes.
Well,
So that's
so
why I was like
so
2 minutes late.
so you start this as like a you did all the stuff like on Chatterbait and all that. How did
Of
you
course.
get to this? Hey, we've had a cat make an appearance. I
It's
love,
a
I
jinx
love.
in the
Hey,
camera.
I interviewed this crazy right wing woman the other day, who she was yelling and screaming about Joe Biden and all the other shit,
All kinds.
and and
So
uh, and in the middle of it, she's like, "Oh, hold on, I've got to take care of my kid," and then you see her kid sitting on her lap because her kid was wanting attention, and I'm like, everybody's just human. We might not have, you know. They may think Donald Trump is God or Joe Biden is the devil, but guess what? The kid needed to be picked up. So mom picked the kid up and put him on put her on her lap. And it's the same thing here with you. Your cat wanted attention. God damn it.
yeah, she's jumping everywhere. I one of my things as well, when it comes to my Minxxx mission, I'm not discriminating who gets fed. If you are
Oh yeah.
hungry and you need food, I'm not going to say, "Oh, I won't feed you because you have different beliefs than I do."
Oh yeah.
I don't have to agree with your hatred for me to be kind, you know.
There it is, baby. That ought to be in a goddamn t-shirt. You'd be selling those at AVN or whatever. That'd be great.
I just it's important, right? To think
I
like
do
that.
love that though. Yeah, I don't have to agree with your with
Nature
your
to be
hate.
kind. And it can go either way. It's not specific to any like wing in particular. The other people can say that to us if or vice versa. Like it's a neutral term. I no one has to agree with each other in order to be kind. That's the main point.
Yes.
And the divisiveness, I think we've become way more divided than necessary. And that's part of another reason why I enjoy feeding communities is because it brings them together. We're reuniting people. And even if it is in a terrible circumstance because they are, lesser able to provide for themselves than they may have been in the past or ever, it doesn't mean they don't deserve a hot meal. And that's something that I want to change. I'm realizing through experience because I just decided to bite off more than I can chew and chew it rather than to figure out how to do it. But from my local leaders that I've been in contact with on terms of how to better apply myself and my resources, I'm already leaps and bounds ahead of where I thought I'd be. And in some instances, I'm ahead of them because I have a spreadsheet. I'm keeping track of inventory, where things are going, who donated what. My donors know exactly where their
Wow.
things went.
This is wild.
I don't know how long I'll be able to maintain that part, but for right now, I'm aware of who bought what and where their shit's going directly. And I can almost tell them like down to the person half the time or exactly to what donation facility. Because today I sent off about, I want to say 60 to 80 pounds worth of food to this place called The Ark.
Jesus.
I have received so many
Wow.
donations that my whole house has become a distribution center. I live in like a one bedroom apartment, but my living room is now
Wow.
a food pantry that I've been trying to facilitate. So it's beautiful. I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful that I have the opportunity that people, I didn't think anyone would help. I didn't even get to the starting point, but it's enjoyable to talk about. The
I think this is
lore,
amazing. I
it's
think
gonna be
this
a
is
good one.
amazing.
Just wait. I mean, not really.
So my question that I have, which
Mhm.
it's one of the things that we ran into when we
Mm-hmm.
first started Concerts for a Cause was I just had the idea of let's put on some concerts in a park that no one was using on a Saturday night during the summer. Let's have free concerts,
Yeah.
and then let's have hot dogs, hamburgers, and have the nonprofits come out and cook them. And at the end of the night, they keep the money.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody donates their time, all the stuff. And I started having all, which is this is a Kansas problem. I'm sure you do not run into this in Tennessee, but for whatever reason, Kansas is the strangest freaking place on the face of the earth. I had nonprofits that were making money, but they were complaining that I was not a registered nonprofit,
That
giving
is a
them
fascinating
thousands of
approach.
dollars every week. And then we had one time where I had someone who, right before I was getting ready to give them like $10,000, they're saying, "Well, we did our research on you." And I'm like, "So do you want the money or what?"
That's another thing. Like that's a
So,
big issue in charity is that people are being choosy on where they want to receive funding from. And I refuse to
yeah.
be that selective. I think that we as adult performers or people in the entertainment industry have a lot of money to potentially redistribute into good causes. If we can afford to have any designer bag or fancy meal or trip to Hawaii or do these privileged things, don't you think it'd be very insignificant for them to throw $200 towards something great that might benefit who knows how many families? The Food
Yes.
Harvest program, Second Harvest, has been able to stretch their spending power from $1 to 4 people. So 25 cents feeds a person. They
Wow.
have that much stretch at this point with all the sponsorships and programs that they've been partnered with. I mean, I love being a vigilante though, because there is some downside. They do kind of restrict how often you can go to a food pantry. They do limit how many items you can get. And I want to fill in some of those gaps. Like, okay, well, you can only get 3 hygiene items every other week, every month. Let me also supply some deodorant for people because it shouldn't be a
Yeah.
choice. You shouldn't be embarrassed to walk into a building because you smell bad. You should have a little bit of dignity. And if you can restore dignity, maybe they'll get jobs. Maybe they'll be where you want them to be. The bootstraps can only be pulled up if they exist.
You hit that on the head.
Like it, and
Uh,
I've been in a place with low dignity, so I know. Like,
We have got Ivy Minxxx with us today. She is amazing. She has taken this whole Minxxx Mission thing and have just made a huge, huge difference in people's lives. And she hadn't really had to do a damn thing.
well, I've had to campaign
It's
for
just,
sure.
having people,
I
you,
digitally door knocked. I went and messaged individually every single model that I thought would be able to contribute. I messaged every single guy on Tinder that hooked up with me at one point or another and sent them to my Amazon wish list. I messaged every single person who I have
amazing.
had a dinner with. Every single person on my FetLife inbox almost got messaged as well. I've streamed about it. I've promoted about it. I've been annoying about it. I
I've
have
been
almost
knowing
bullied some people
about
into
it,
buying me
baby.
stuff. And I'm slightly shaming some of my wealthier role models and friends, but I'm like, wow, I'm losing respect for you by the day. The longer it takes for you to say something about this and the worse things get, the less I want to be associated with you. And that's part of why I'm doing this so intensely is because I'm disgusted. Most of us come from a place of poverty in this
Yeah.
industry. A lot of us have had trauma or struggled and deserve to
Yes.
not only feel peace, but to be able to reciprocate it. Aren't we supposed to be sex workers, lovers, like people who give as well? I think we've lost the plot. We have learned that we can receive so much by doing this because it's a very valuable skill set. It's a skill set, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's insignificant. Like the work I've been doing this for 7 years. And after a certain point, I'm like, wow, I've gotten nominations, I've been published, I've done all the things, I've gone to all the awards, we've even gotten AVN nominations for that matter. Like I've done it all in terms of my opinion of what I wanted to do. And it feels like I just want to do something that matters for a change. Not to say that what I've done is shameful or that people shouldn't do it. I love porn. I just think that for me, I'm burnt out on it. I think that
I'm
I
burnt
could
out
use
on.
my platform for better and encourage other models to have hope and there are plenty of models who are also on government assistance, for the record.
Well,
Plenty of cam models.
you seem to have built this is the thing that I like about all this is that you built a base, you built a structure, you did this the right way.
I tried to take it slow and steady, and I didn't make a ton. I was independent. I never had an agent. I didn't get managed by anybody. I didn't do professional work very often. I only self-booked, and it led me to being in a position where I can do what I want. I haven't lost any of my following because of what I'm doing, because I have good followers who support who I am. I may not have 100,000 of them anymore, but 43,000 that are willing to stay no matter what I say is still worth more than, 100,000 who couldn't
That's
care less.
yeah.
So I'll take the volume. I work harder for those, real people, real, actually considerate people. And I'm appreciative and grateful that they still even know my name. I'm nobody. As someone most put best is that I'm a brave Miss Nobody.
I'm a
I
brave
don't
miss
mind.
nobody. That's awesome.
I love
Uh,
it.
we have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here on our big broadcast, and she is like if you're watching us live on BitChute, Rumble, any of these things, uh, she's like a Toby Keith song because she just drank out of a mason jar. That is amazing.
I'm a Nashville girl through and
That is
through.
amazing. Uh, so, well, one of the things that I noticed a few years ago when we
Jinx.
were when we were down there in Tennessee, of all places, where you are, um, I was down there in I can't even believe that I went to this place. I went to Dyersburg, Tennessee. Have you ever been to
What were you doing
Dyersburg?
there?
And you know where that is?
Hardly. That's the point. If I don't know where it
Hardly.
is, then
What
you
is
probably don't really know
hilarious?
there.
I was down there. Well, it was kind of it was Tennessee, so of course I knew what was probably going to be taking place, but we were down there because the lovely and talented Brittany was checking into a job in Dyersburg, Tennessee. So we went down there and was checking out Dyersburg. And I have never seen you always hear about, oh, the town square is boarded up. I got to see it for the very first time. They have like a flower shop on the corner. Everything else is just kind of boarded up and they've just given up on the downtown. And I've noticed that that was there was a serious problem down there with people needing help. They didn't
Assistance.
really have anywhere. Most of the places to live were not the greatest in the world, and the only saving grace was we walked into a convenience store at one point and they had a poster up for a pro wrestling show. We were doing a Jerry Lawler tribute show, and I'm like, of course they are in Tennessee. The
Of
king.
course. Why
There's
not?
three kings in Tennessee. There's Elvis, there's God, and there's Jerry Lawler. That's what somebody told me at one point.
I
So,
can see that being true to some.
Dolly
I feel like Dolly Parton is maybe not a king, but she's
Parton might
like
be in
up there
there.
in like the godliness. Like Dolly can do no
Yes,
wrong.
yes.
We all pray for Dolly. We love Dolly.
What I thought was funny is when as we went to the show and I had interviewed Lawler like several years ago at a Comic Con, and every time he comes through, I'll see him at various things, and I just waited in line and got up to the thing, and he's like, "Jiggy, what the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, that's the question I should be asking you, but you're getting a booking. I'm not." But but that was one thing I noticed is that Tennessee needs a lot of help.
I grew up living in extreme poverty. I mean,
Yeah.
my mother was young when she had me, and she struggled with addiction up until she passed in 2020 due to the same, it was intentional. And that's part of why
Yeah.
I'm doing this, is because, well, I've always wanted to honor her legacy and to contribute back to other charities related to overdose
That's
and
awesome.
overcoming things like that. And I did a charity stream on October 24th or 6th, can't remember what date. And I felt pitiful because I was only able to raise like $40 for the two charities that I was trying to raise money for. I promoted it, but unfortunately I forgot that Exotica was happening that weekend and it just overlapped and we weren't able to get the funds. And so it made me mad. And I don't know. I saw a post maybe 3 4 days later on the 28th or so about how 1 in 5 children are dependent on SNAP in America. And it was right before they were taking away
Yeah.
these, or pausing, I guess, withholding the benefits for the
Whatever it is.
whatever they're doing, it doesn't matter. I just care that
Yeah.
children are potentially being
Yeah.
impacted, and this is not fair.
Yes.
If we're using food as a weapon, that's violence, and
Yes.
that's not acceptable. I mean,
Yes.
we're better than that as a country. We're a great country, and we shouldn't have to make this political. It should be just as simple as, oh, we shouldn't be starving people. Food pantries can't support this many. For every meal one food pantry provides, the EBT program was providing 9. That's the math we're having to deal with here. But
Wow.
anyways, time moved on and I started getting upset. I went to a hockey game and I made a little joke video before I went to bed, and someone was like, "You seem like you're just trying to get on a bandwagon. I see your message, but this seems like all you want is attention. You're not actually interested in helping people." And it pissed me off. I was like, "Oh, you
Oh
don't know me."
God, here we
And
go.
so from that point onward, I
A
decided,
mark somewhere. This is always how it starts.
someone says something stupid that they don't know what they're speaking
Someone
on.
says something stupid.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, you're just doing this to be performative." And I'm like, "Okay, well, watch me be performative then. I'm gonna get really fucking performative." And on Halloween, I went door to door and gave people cards saying, "Thank you for being a good human. Love heels. Please consider contributing to one of Nashville's local food banks this holiday season." So I did that, and then I came up with the Minxxx Mission as I was just thinking of ways to reuse some of my own food scraps. And I was like, you know what? I can make a wish list. I was out Halloween at a bar with a friend and I was talking to people, giving out these cards. And a woman was like, "Well, how do I give you money for this?" And I said, "Oh, I'm not taking money. I'm just spreading awareness so people will donate to food pantries." I didn't start this thinking I was going to become one. I did this thinking, but she gave me the inspiration of like, wait, people will give me money for this. And I don't want money. I actually have not been
Yeah,
taking money. Only a few of my fans have sent me like a couple bucks for like Ubers and Lyfts and stuff that I've been
yeah.
taking to get to and from volunteer gigs. But Amazon wishlist, that's been the whole thing.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
That is
I'm
amazing.
grateful. It's
Just the fact
crazy.
that you have this whole thing is just wild to me. And you know what I always think is funny is that that's always how it starts.
Yeah, someone told me I'm doing something.
Somebody does or says something dumb. I
Hmm.
always think about with like Mike Tyson, where
Hmm.
Mike Tyson was just this little tiny guy who had a lisp, had it was just going through life. And then some bunch of punks somewhere got a hold of one of his dubs and tortured it and killed it, and it pissed him off. And he hit one of these guys and like broke their jaw, and then they stuck him in the boxing program, and then he became pretty much almost the greatest professional boxer in the history of the world. And I'm like, it wouldn't have been for those little assholes
That's
screwing
true.
with them dubs. And it's like with you, it's like you were just you had some ideas and some little fucking mark asshole on the internet.
They're following me. They're like one of my own fans. Like, this is someone who
And that's
supports my
even worse.
content. And I'm like, you are literally, they have not commented back on any of my recent posts. It seems as if it's gotten very quiet on the front of performative activism. It's like, let's talk about performative activism. My Amazon drivers are tired. They are tired. I put water out and I try to be as kind as possible. There's a sign on my door that says, "I'm sorry." Like,
That's amazing.
it's a blessing, and I really couldn't have expected any better result. I thought that I felt crazy just reaching out individually to all these successful people, and most of them ignored me, to be fair. Some of them
Oh yeah.
reposted it,
Oh yeah.
but some of them contributed. Some of them were sending food, like they wanted to be involved and they were
That's
supportive.
amazing.
It only takes a few. I mean, I don't care if my most wealthy mutuals ignore me. That's fine because there are people who have less than them that want to give more, and that's the truth of
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And karma catches up. I'm keeping a note. I'm like, oh, so I'm not gonna not feed them if they need food. If they ever come to me and they need something, I'll be there for them. But that's not the thing. It's not my place to sit there and be like,
That's
ah,
right.
you didn't donate to charity when people were hungry. Like, no, no, they have their reasons. Some people have, they're like putting on a show. Like a lot of people put on what I call class drag on the internet. It's
Class
pretending,
drag, baby.
yes, that is like
I've
pretending
heard
to
a
have money to
lot of
do.
cool things today, and that's one of them.
Yeah, it's a very common occurrence in our industry or in the adult film industry. They believe if they keep putting on the illusion that they have more than they do, that they will eventually attract more. And to some extent, trash attracts more trash, and you would imagine the other would be the same, but it's obvious if you don't know what you're doing. And so
That
it's a
too.
catch. It's a catch 22. You could play the role all day, but if you don't know the role itself, you're never going to succeed. You'll always look like
Uh,
the understudy. So it's better
you'll
just to.
always look like the understudy. So take me through. You were talking about something earlier that I
Hmm.
just whoo the whole thing of your living room has become a food pantry.
Yes, basically, yes. Um,
Run this down because this sounds
yeah.
insane, but at the same time, this sounds like the greatest happy accident that there could be.
I mean, it's honestly just the best way of utilizing skill sets I already had. Weeks before, maybe not even a full week before the snap thing happened, I was already talking to some of my friends. I was like, I'm not ashamed or upset that I've done porn. I'm actually very proud of my career, but I've gotten to a point where I'm just unfulfilled. Like I've gotten to like I've done it. I've done what I wanted to do here for the most part, and now I want to do something big. I wanted to do charity. I even manifested like I was like, please give me a chance to do something charitable. And then I was told by some friends like, well, people don't do that for a living. Usually people do charity as a hobby, like something they do on the side. They work a job and they do charity when they can. And I was like, okay. And so I was making jokes about how I wanted to be a femdom for like philanthropy and start using my porn resources to pay for
Oh,
these
that would be
charitable things.
amazing.
And that's how I'm starting to do it. I'm getting people to pay for me to go and volunteer at the store, which is basically a mock grocery store that's a food pantry. So I would basically be a fake cashier. I don't get paid. And I give free groceries away. I'm scanning them and counting them accordingly. But it's such a fun and fulfilling experience. I would do it every day that they paid for my Ubers to go. Like I love doing that. It's just so nice to be able to tell a mother she doesn't have to pull out her wallet and just give her groceries that she needs. Fresh produce, all the fresh produce they can get. It's beautiful. It's not like they can take 20 apples. There's like a limit,
Right.
like 4 apples, like 2 bags of spinach, but still they can have one of every piece of produce in the store and
Yes.
usually in multiple quantities. I love doing that. That makes me feel good. And that's part of why I'm doing this too, is because I'm showing by example. I'm not just doing this food drive situation where I'm raising these food funds and so on. I'm also posting about the charity I'm doing. I'm telling people where you can
And that's
volunteer.
the thing I like is that you're
Yeah,
giving.
my time.
I've
I'm giving
I've
my
I've seen
everything.
you I've seen you do that a few times where you have posted that information,
Yes,
and that is
it's
the thing
important.
that you because you're you
You're leading
may
by
you may
example.
have people who want to donate later, but they don't want to make it seem like they donated to give you the credit or whatever the fuck weird shit are in people's heads
I
now.
don't care what they do it for. If they
So
want to
I
be
like
anonymous about
that
it,
where
that's
you're
fine.
like, hey, here's where it's going, here's what we're doing, here's the info.
And if
So
you want to know where, like, like, there's someone who bought, like 8 pounds of beans, black beans. I put the beans in the wish list because I did a food, kitchen like situation where we fed the homeless on Thursday, which is at Harvest Sound. If anyone ever wants to volunteer in Nashville, 5 to 6:30 every Thursday. Last 32 years they've been doing that. You can just show up and serve people if you want. That's what I did. Loved it. But I wish they had more food because right now it's harder than usual. And so I saw they had to kind of withhold some of like black beans. There wasn't enough to make a bunch of extra to-go plates because people were hungry. And we were trying to feed them as much as we could while there. And so I'm like, how can I feed them more? How can I make an extra portion and come with that so that we can make more to-go plates? How can we make this easier and give more hope, because I think that if life gets easier, there is hope inevitably. I've already done that survival strategy, and I know that's inevitably how this works. If you keep putting people down and making them feel inhuman, they're going to act like that too.
Yes.
And it's quick. You're much
Yes.
quicker to being in that
It's
position.
the old I don't know why I'm going back to Tyson again with this, but I remember back when Customato at one point sat Tyson down years ago, and he said there are a lot of people out here, a lot of monsters disguised as human beings, and you're not smart enough to know the difference between the two. And that right there, perfect example. There are
Even monsters deserve compassion to some extent, because
well
they're
that
not like,
too.
I hate to say it, not every monster is a monster. A lot of them are misunderstood, and they are acting out of their own emotional insecurities, impulses, and lack of know-how. Like, I'm not saying they're innocent. I'm just
Well,
saying
yeah.
it's coming from somewhere else. Like, usually the random strays that you're catching from these people aren't yours. Like, you're not the cause of their pain. You just happen to be there next to them. Imagine like having a toothache, like a really bad
Well,
toothache.
that too.
That's pretty much what it's like to be in that position. You're in numb, mild pain, cold, and right now it's especially cold. And
Yeah.
why would you want to smile? Like my sister, she was like, "Oh, I don't love it when they're not nice about it. They should be smiling when we give them stuff." I'm like, "They don't need to smile for me to
They
give them
don't need to
stuff."
smile or anything.
I wouldn't care. I couldn't care less if they say no or if they don't smile, if they say, ah, fuck you. I mean, that wouldn't be
Yeah.
great. I wouldn't like that, but I would accept it because I'm not doing
Yeah.
this because I'm trying to feel good about myself anymore. Like it feels good, but inevitably, if I'm doing it to feel good about myself and I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, it's not about me. I am really in a position where this is a vow that I have made until SNAP is restored, that I will volunteer as much as I can afford to volunteer. And unfortunately, the reason why I started the wish list is because I'm not in a position where I had hundreds of extra dollars to donate. I'm pretty tight. I did just move and I am starting a new business and I am doing different things that's costing most of my resources. So this is my dream, honestly, come true, to be able to give back not only to these specific food banks, but because these food banks fed my family. I'm targeting the ones that kept us afloat when my mom wasn't able to do anything, or when, we were living in in-town suites or at a motel. We literally fought bed bugs for years. I mean, I grew up in the worst of it. And I still graduated early. I still want to be a good person. I still think that people deserve compassion no matter how fucking whatever they've done. Like I mean, there are a few things that are morally so bad that you should just probably be in prison or dead. But
Well, yeah.
other than that, like, you're not gonna deny yourself compassion from me, at least. I don't have the capacity for it. I don't have the
I don't
heart.
have the capacity for it, she says.
No,
That's
like
awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm too loving. I'm not that shallow. Like you have met the ocean puddle. Have fun.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So the one thing, and this is where I'm gonna tick off all any of my conservative friends that watch this show, which is kind of
I'm not
odd.
hating on the conservatives.
No,
I
no, no,
have
no,
a
no.
lot of views.
I'm gonna pick on them. I'm gonna pick on them.
I'm
No,
not
no,
even
no,
on
no.
it.
You let me verbally beat the shit out of the liberals,
That's
the
your thing. That's your
conservatives,
thing.
the New World Order, all these people. What
No.
and I am not going to do like Alex Jones does, where he comes out and he goes, "I'm gonna stab him in the heart." Non-violently and peacefully. No, I'm gonna just stab them in the heart. Um, the one thing that I noticed when they got ready to do all this stuff where they were screwing with the food, because that's what they're fucking doing.
Yeah, they're trying to starve us out and make it so we pay more for insurance. Like, but
Well,
hey, what do I
the thing
know?
that gets me is I know that they were going to play that game for a while, and then there was like I think it was the state of Kansas and a few others decided to just they're like screw whatever the hell, we're going to let people have their SNAP and EBT.
Many
It's
states have
going to happen.
decided to release the
Yeah.
funding, at least partially, of their
And
emergency funds.
part of this is I think somebody somewhere went, you know something? If people are hungry, they're going to do whatever the hell they need to do. And
We're
there's
a
a
lot
lot
more
of
easy.
multinational corporations that don't want to have that happen.
Oh no, McDonald's is losing money. Walmart's losing so much money.
Yeah,
You're pissing off the
multinational
wrong
corporations
people.
don't like food riots.
No,
I
food
remember
riots
a
are
few
nice
years
too.
ago, God, was it Peru, Brazil? I don't know what it was. There was some country where they had done a similar thing, where they had taken away people's food. And there is video on the internet of the king or whatever the hell of this country leaving his palace on a jet or a fucking helicopter as everybody from the nearby country decided, well, I guess we're going to his house. And they went to his house and he got the hell out of there. Now, of course, because it's they have the internet, they have phones. What is the first thing that they did? They ran to his pool, they jumped in it, and there's 65 selfie sticks, and they've got their phones. But the
Oh, but
lesson was don't take away people's fucking food.
we have a larger wealth gap than they had the time when Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." So
Yeah.
if we're, or was it the great, I can't remember who exactly said that, but let them eat cake wealth gap is ridiculously small and insignificant in comparison. And I mean, I think that the lack of education around the difference in economics between how much you'd have to work to make $1 billion and not spend it. I mean, it would take 1,000 years. You literally have to spend millions a day, and it
Well,
still wouldn't.
and the thing that I always think is so funny when I talk to a lot of these a lot of these people these whatever you want to refer to them as.
Just people with different opinions. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not gonna
There
sit
you
there and
go.
make.
People with different opinions. That is perfect.
Yeah,
Um my feeling is that once you've got all the houses and all the cars and you got all this, what the hell you gonna do with all this fucking money?
you can't take it with you. You can't eat it. I think
I'm just like, what are you doing? And it's just, uh,
it's a game. I think
yeah,
at some point, and I don't understand it, but
he
you
is
know, it's
presenting.
it's
If you
strange.
hear
If
a
a
sheep,
natural
the
animal
cat
was
is
doing
cute,
that,
by the way.
it's unnatural. It's thank you. Her name is Jinx. Jinx makes my mini me. But yeah, it's unnatural for humans to like hoard resources. It never has been for any animal to hoard resources like that. It's actually strange and psychologically challenging. It's in a sense it's a mental illness, but unfortunately, because of the reward benefits and so on, we're not going to ever associate it with such. Like, you're not going to tell someone who has $1 billion that they have a mental illness. I mean, obviously they do, but that doesn't matter. They have $1 billion. It doesn't, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to teach them how to be human. I think that's the point, is that they lack the depth. It happened before they reached that point. It happened before they ever got to even 100 million.
Yeah.
I think it comes just because I've met plenty of wealthy people who can do a lot of good. It is not necessarily
Yes.
one or the other. It's a very, you can be both. Dolly Parton would be a billionaire had she not been so generous, and she lives a very full, enjoyable life. Be more
Yes.
like Dolly Parton. That's all I gotta say. That's my stance on money is you could just be like Dolly Parton. You don't need to be unhappy at
Just
all.
be
You can
like
have
Dolly Parton.
everything you want. And you could still make like the world doesn't need to be miserable. But I think that it's not so much that they don't want to solve it. It's because that's a part of their pleasure is knowing that there are people who don't have it.
Yeah.
That's the exclusivity of it. That goes why people fight so hard to get Birkins and Kellys and these expensive bags. I dated a very wealthy man for a year who abused the shit out of me and ruined who I was as a person. And that's a part of why I'm also like, let's give back because I know how disgusting and twisted some of these people actually think and what they do behind closed doors. I've watched them firsthand. I have been at the Four Seasons in many different states and I have seen what these conversations can look like sometimes. And it's ugly. They have no heart. A lot of them. Like I wanted to
Yeah.
believe that deep down that there was compassion, but inevitably it's not there. And so it has to be something you choose. You have to choose to be compassionate, and they're not making that choice. So other people, either have to put them in a position where they're required to make that choice, i.e. taxing, or get them out. If they don't want to pay it, don't live here. Don't contribute to this
Yeah.
economy. We don't really need it. We think we do,
We
but in
don't.
actuality, we survived before without it, and we were able to thrive. The government technically, in and of itself, is supposed to be for the people. And if it can't feed the people, then it's not for the people. And that is the bare
Yeah.
minimum. I'm not saying they need to feed everybody their fucking steak dinners and sushi. Basic necessities must be met. We don't need to argue on that. We shouldn't have to have the conversation. Like, this is sad to me. Like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I shouldn't have to sit on a radio station and talk about why people deserve to eat food at the bare
Yes.
minimum. And I shouldn't have to prove a point by showing up and volunteering 3 to 5 days a week. You know, I shouldn't have to ask my family members to help me distribute food across pantries all over Tennessee. And yet I am. These are, and I'm willing to feed anybody. I'm not going to judge a single soul. I don't want anyone to get that misconstrued. I'm actually reaching out to go to a red county to feed those food banks in particular. That's how serious I'm about taking this. If you know anything about Tennessee's geography, you would know Cheatham County is nowhere near blue. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's sad.
Tennessee is definitely a red state.
And it's sad. I live in Nashville. Like, I know that I am in the more liberal city. Doesn't mean I believe and agree with everything. I'm just grateful that I'm in a position in my life where I have a platform that I built and stabilized enough for me to give back to the community that needs it. And again, I'm just frustrated that this is the point it's come to. I should be able to do this like I've been doing for the last 5 years, which is somewhat casual. You know, I give when I can. It's, you know, just a part of it. I know that the foundations and organizations are usually covering the ends. It's typically
Right.
sustained. Right now, it's not. Right now, everyone in every point of America, to some extent, knows someone who is dealing with food insecurity. If you don't, you're privileged. Congratulations. I'm glad that that's not your story, and I don't want you to have to experience that or to have your friends and family experience that, or even your neighbors. That's my point, though. But you probably have interacted with someone who does. Your Uber
Yes.
driver, your grocery store, employees, gas station attendants, and they're no less deserving than you are. Just because you have more does not mean they don't deserve to have the bare minimum. And they can have little luxuries. Fuck it. Want a cookie? Fine. Cookies are for everyone. They closed today. Sometimes just existing, showing up for your shift and leaving, that's your human expectation. If you wanted more from them, provide them with a sustainable living. That's it. Like, it should not be, again, I shouldn't have to say this. I don't know why I'm being radical. It doesn't feel radical, but other people will hear me and be like, bootstraps.
Other people though.
Not everyone, though. I think, honestly, there are much more people that are thinking similarly to us of this, well, people deserve to eat.
Well,
Like,
I will have to say that the one of the good things about all this is the tide is turning,
it has to.
because I remember, I think it was the Biden Trump election. They had these, they of course always have to do the exit polls,
Yeah, they have to
and
exit.
they sent the MSNBC side, which is progressive maybe, and they sent them somewhere, and they sent the Fox News side somewhere, and they were doing exit polls, and they stopped doing exit polls because they kept getting all sorts of answers they didn't like. Where when they talked to the MSNBC people, they were like, "Well, I think that people should be able to have a gun, but I think people should be able to have health care, and I think they should have a livable wage, and all this." And then they went to the
Mm-hmm.
Fox News people, and the Fox News people, which are, the conservatives, they of course are doing the gun thing, but then they're starting to talk about health care and all this other stuff. Well, then both channels are like, screw this, we're done with this exit poll stuff, because it's
We
getting to
actually
the
agree.
point.
That's my
It's
thing. I
get,
think we
it,
agree. I think if most people could take aside their bias and what they've been taught to hate the last 5 years to 10 years, we would come to the conclusion that we love America. Most people who are fighting for democracy that are voting actually give a fuck about the country. They want to see it succeed. They want to see people
yeah.
happy again. I was raised at a time in which globalism was introduced. Like, in my kindergarten class, we had flags of all the countries hanging up in the classroom and a globe in the middle, and we talked about the planets, and Pluto was still a planet. That's how old I am.
Pluto was
And
still a planet.
very temporarily.
Simple times, baby. Simple times.
That was good time. And I was kind of introduced to the idea of there's culture to be explored, melting pot. You know, we are diverse, we are immigrants, we are a
Yes.
country based off of that, and that we should be good to others, treat others the way you want to be treated was my kindergarten slogan. And I
Yes.
don't know why that got lost. And if we want to take a religious turn on it, it's all over that book. There's a book out there that tells people how to feed others and how not to judge
Oh
others and
yeah,
all that stuff.
they
I go
love
to
talking
church.
about various things, but then
I
there's parts
know.
of that book where they're like, we're not going to do that."
They love taking parts. Like, for instance, there's one passage that goes about, how to get into the Bible. You can't get in by jumping over a fence. And they love to say that immigrants are getting in unlawfully, and therefore the Bible says you shouldn't do that. I'm like, no, you're saying you can't trick your way into heaven. That's what that says. You're misinterpreting the text into your own benefit so you can continue to be hateful. And again, your hate does not determine my kindness, but my education will not pretend to be blatant. Like, I can't ignore it. I'm like, well, I read this and I actually understand literacy. And I also read the other paragraph before it and the one after it and the one after that. And that context is only in that sentence if you twist it and keep it very small. Unfortunately, it's a book. So you can't just say a sentence and it be the entire religion's belief like that. And also, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I don't care if people are taking religion away from food. That's you shouldn't have to be religious to get fed.
Yes.
And that's one annoying pet peeve I have about Tennessee. I'm happy to support and volunteer at these church programs and just be one of the more neutral people there. Because they're the only ones that are facilitated or organized enough to facilitate these programs frequently enough. But I like to be the person who just says, "Here you go, bye," and go. Because you don't need to sit here and listen to me and pretend that you care about something just to be fed. That's not
Yeah.
dignifying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And some people think like, well, if you don't preach to them, then technically you're not following the Bible. And I'm like, you know what? It's not that complicated to be a good person. I think we just keep it simple. Like, if you want to be simple about it, feed people, don't judge,
Just be
don't hate.
yeah, just feed
Just
people. That's it.
be good.
Just
Be good or be good at it, I
make sure
guess.
they have food. That's it.
That that there's not it's not even your personal responsibility. I don't even need anyone to take up on these notions more than my Minxxx Mission already has. You just need to not care. Just don't invest in the suffering of others. That is it. You can look the other way if it bothers you. Like, that's how the majority of these issues should be solved, in my opinion, is with tolerance. We shouldn't be investigating other people's bedroom lives or what they want to do with their bodies. We should just be tolerant that the fact that they exist and they're not in your neighborhood, so don't look. They can exist. They should be able to. Granted, freedom is a liberty that we have to take responsibly. So, I understand why there's conflict, but nonetheless, it's not a thing that can be solved necessarily anytime soon. I think that's going to take like decades of effort and people just getting to a point where they're like, well, I've lived on this earth for 50 years and the gays didn't burn it, so I guess we're just gonna have to be okay with them. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the gays will burn the world apart. I don't know. I'm not gay enough to know. I'm only a little bit gay. And I
I'm
don't
only a
feel like
little
that's what's
bit
gonna
gay.
happen.
You have some incredible one-liners, my friend. You have some incredible one-liners today.
Thank you. I'm
I'm only just
biased.
a little bit gay.
Just a little. I mean,
Just
I have proof of that on the internet.
oh yes, you have proof of that. We have all seen it on the Twitter machine.
Girl dinner.
But we have got a great guest with us today. Of course, Ivy Minxxx is with us. She is amazing. She has got this idea that started out, and then it just has sprung to what it is now. Just amazing. So take me through this, how this works. That they get on like your Amazon wish list, and then they
So yeah,
how does
I
this go? Because I was fascinated when you made the comment earlier about I apologize to the Amazon drivers.
yes, this poor guys, because there's stairs around my apartment, so they do have to walk upstairs.
That is one thing I noticed when we were looking at apartments in Dyersburg, Tennessee. There's steps everywhere. Nobody has a
Everywhere.
first floor fucking apartment or house.
Nah.
Everybody is stepping. Is there is that
We just like
Because
downstairs. Floods, maybe. We do have floods sometimes.
okay, I was getting ready to. I was thinking, okay, it's probably a flood thing. But
It could, yeah. We've had some floods throughout the years occasionally. It's not unheard of. It's not super common, but certain areas get it worse than others. So, yeah, definitely a thing.
so okay, so the Amazon thing, they get on
Yes.
your wish list. Is this?
So I actually have a new wish list coming up in a few weeks, but so I have a private one for my, not private, but personal wish list. And then
Yeah,
on ivyminxx.com, which is my website with three X's, I actually changed it. So you log on to the website and you'll see my usual intro, and then boom, right underneath it is the Minxxx Mission. And you'll have a button where you can click to contribute, and that directs you to the specific wish list dedicated only to this project. So it's only going to have food and related objects, things, and necessities on that list. Nothing that's personal to me or my preferences. It's just for this project. And the new one that I'm launching here in a few weeks is called the Minxxx Mission. So that's going to be children's toys and things for teens and other things. So instead of buying dirty toys, we're just buying toys for tots, like type situation.
that's
A
awesome.
change of pace, you know. I'm actually personally doing a ton of research to find reasonably priced but dignifying toys. I feel like some of these nonprofits and little organizations that do toy drives, they just aren't out of touch with what kids actually want or how to find reasonably priced products. And so I'm trying to be mindful and do things that I think would actually be fun and beneficial and not just like junk. I want them to get toys that are based on career or education or do a skill set or something creative. Like it needs to be something that, because I remember being a child in poverty, right? Like, so hand me a sticker book, sure, but if you had like maybe a pottery set, I could have done something with that, or maybe a science kit, something like that. I coloring books are even better because it's just nice to have something therapeutic. I wanted to get adult coloring books too because my mom loved them. She was really, really a big
Oh,
fan
that was
of,
like a big. I noticed that was like a
yeah.
huge thing a couple years ago.
It's
We
still kind
went
of
into
popular.
like a Five Below or one of these fucking things,
Hmm.
and they had adult coloring books, and I'm like, the fuck is this?
Like the mandalas and
And then
all
I
that.
find out later, Brittany and everybody's like, oh yeah, I do the adult coloring books, and I'm like, where the fuck
I
did
have
this
some.
come from? I missed this.
They're fun. Yeah, I've done a few. I think they're great. I have a couple. And I put some on that area, but I'm dropping that in a few weeks. So basically, yeah, I made it a specific wish list just for that. I added it to my link sites and redirect people to it frequently through promotion on my various platforms. I've been promoting Instagram, Fat Life, Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, a little bit on I don't know if I've gone to YouTube yet. Basically anywhere I can post about it, I've been posting about it. Um, I'm proud. I'm very proud of the progress. I think I I'm expecting a new Amazon shipment, and in a couple of hours, every day I get at least one or two. It, now that I just said
Wow,
that, I hear boxes being placed outside my door. That's so funny.
that is amazing.
I just manifested it. Um, yeah, they're literally just dropping boxes right now. Oh,
So
that's
so
crazy.
so do that. So do the Amazon guys know what's going on?
I put a sign up and I try to inform them. I'm like, so by the way, just so you know, and I usually try to open the door while they're unloading. Sometimes I forget and I take things in before they're done scanning because they have to come up for more than one load. It's intense. Yesterday I received 10 packages. The day before that was also like 8. And the day before that was 8. The day before that was one big one. So
Absolutely amazing to me.
it's pretty
Uh,
insane, the volume. But yeah, let's see. I see that there have been some technical fun things. So I'm gonna keep looking pretty, and there you are.
there we are. Yeah. One of the issues
Oh,
with
the audio is no longer with us.
can you hear me?
No.
You cannot. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's fix this problem.
I hope everyone's having a wonderful time listening from wherever you are, broadcasting from my end in
Okay.
Nashville. We
There.
are still waiting for him to get
Is
his
is
mic
that
back
is
on, and it is
ah
I
Damn
still
it.
cannot hear you,
No
but we are
audio.
working through it, and I'm keeping everyone entertained in the meantime. He is doing his best. I think there were some technical difficulties, but we are handling it with grace, and I hope that your day is going gracefully as well. Maybe a little horny, maybe kinky, maybe just gracefully. Up to you, you pick. And we are waiting. I wonder though, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? If you want to message me about that, tell me. Tell me all your favorite Thanksgiving foods. I need inspiration and recipes for the upcoming food event that I'm putting on with Souls United. It's more like Souls United's putting it on, and I'm just making some green beans and pudding cups. But hey, it's a contribution, and I'll take it. I love helping when I can. Ooh, I think he's been gone for a minute, but we shall make the most out of our time together, I'm sure. Although it's different when it's just me on the line.
Okay.
There you are.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. And we were
Perfect.
just talking about Thanksgiving dishes and what our favorite Thanksgiving dishes are.
That is awesome. You know what is great about interviewing someone like you is that you're a cam girl. This is what you fucking do.
I talk to myself.
You talk to
Yeah.
yourself. So if I drop out or have to have an issue, you just keep going.
I was like, well, blah, blah, blah,
Wild.
blah,
I
blah.
love it. I will have to say that this has been a fantastic interview. Just
Well,
chatting,
I've loved it. Thank you
just
so
just
much for having me.
just talking about. I think part of this is because when I started doing all this stuff where I was interviewing all the porn people, you are one of the very few people that I connected with who's like a human being. Everybody else always just,
They're
they
all
just want to
like,
do the porn thing and that's it.
no,
And
I've never been that kind of porn star. I've always been the one that
because I remember
responds.
like going to AVNs and stuff, and I would just see you, and we would just stop, and we would just bullshit. We'd never do an interview. We just stand there and talk, and then 15 minutes later, I'm like, we should have filmed this fucking thing. But it
It's just
just
fun to be connected. I like being a human too much to profit off of everything I do, you
it's
know?
just
Like,
amazing to me. So I'm just fascinated by this whole thing from the fact that you started this out as what it was, and now it's become this huge
it's
deal
growing
for
so
you.
fast. It's beautiful. And again, I could not do it without the support that I'm receiving through our donors, both anonymous and face out. I mean, we have Lisa Lotharia, Hung in LA 88, Ava Alex, tons of big names, and some smaller ones that have been contributing and which I've been recognizing. Oh, Blazy Baby, My Mind Breaks, two other big donors we've had. As well as fan donors like Doug, who has donated more than anybody else. He's just been
Doug's
insanely.
the real MVP, apparently.
Doug is our most, generous donor. He's been crazy. I love how much he's cared about this mission. So again, I have to applaud them because I'm just here to distribute. I think a lot of people
That's
don't
it.
want to have,
That's all you're
yeah,
doing.
for the most part. I mean, I'm making care packages, I'm promoting it, I'm interacting with the community leaders, trying to find out again who's going to be the best person to give this to. And they're putting me in better positions as well. I'm learning while volunteering, like, oh, instead of giving people a whole box of tampons, you should break it up into like 3 to 5 packs so you can give more people more products. And then also do the same thing with pads where you do bulk loads. And I learned about dog food today. I can get Ziploc bags, put half a thing of kibble in like one wet food and give it to like people who have pets so they don't have to surrender their pets and have that as a donation bag.
Son of a
That's
bitch.
something I'm looking to consider doing. It's just
When
beautiful.
when
Like, I'm
when when
intentionally
we when
researching this.
when we wrap thing when we get off the air here, I have a couple things I want to run by you, but it's not stuff I want to give away on the air.
Of course. No, I'm just
Ivy
glad to have the
Minx
opportunity.
is with
Thank
us
you.
today. she is just goddamn amazing. She might as well adjust that halo she's got over her head because she
My
is an
devil horn is
angel at
holding
this
him up.
point. And that or she's got a cape because she's a superhero. I don't know which,
Not all
but
heroes wear clothes. Not all heroes wear clothes.
there
That
you
is
go.
it.
There you go. Well, you are amazing, and
Well, you're
ironically,
amazing.
oh, don't let that get around too much. That'll ruin your reputation.
Oh
Forget
Lord.
forget about feeding the homeless. They'll be like, she's hanging out with a no trafficker. But or no, no, I'm the trafficker. Giovanni's the predator.
Oh
Uh,
God.
I
Keep your
we
stinky thing in
we
your
did an
hands
interview
now.
earlier today, and I said you
Go
may.
do your 3 Hail Marys and pay for it, you know.
I told him I told him I said folks may have seen him in the new Predator movie this week. He made a cameo,
Oh
but
God.
ironically, we are going to be in Nashville in February.
That's my birthday month. February 3rd, it's my birthday.
We are going to be doing a content house down
Oh
there.
fun.
So when we are in town, I will let you know plenty of time, and maybe we can all get together, have dinner or something. That would
That'd be
be
so fun. I know of all kinds of great
and
restaurants.
by then, goddamn, who knows how far this goddamn thing will have gone for you. If
I
this is
mean, I hope
just
so.
if this is just what you've done now,
I
this is
want to make a
amazing.
point to say, like, in
Yes.
by this time next year, I would love to talk again and we'll see where I'm at. We'll figure this
Oh,
out, but I would
we will
love to
figure
see
this
it.
out. Are you going to ABN by any chance, or are you
It's
just?
not on my list, so I've taken a brief, not like a hiatus, I'm still active, but I'm just not interested in attending events until I'm sponsored to, which probably is going to happen. I've been sponsored before to attend, so I'm just kind of putting that out there for companies to understand. Like, if you
There you
want
go.
me, come and get me. I'll come, but you're paying for it.
That's
So
awesome. That's
I have
awesome.
a couple people in mind who I might think would sponsor my attendance, which I'm not going to spoil the beans. You'll just be shocked when you see me with them.
That what would be amazing is if why you are not at the expo on your downtime. You're somewhere in Nevada helping all the you're spreading your Minxxx stuff there too. That would be amazing. Well, thanks for doing this. Before we let you go, how do people contribute to what you're doing and all that?
Yeah. Go to ivyminxx.com, ivyminxxx.com, and you can check out more about the Minxxx Mission there. It takes you directly to the wish list, and you're welcome to pick whatever items you'd like. DM me if you have things you'd like to personally contribute or if you want to make a different type of donation. I do technically take cash donations on other platforms. You just have to tell me that that's what that's for so I can account for that and make sure it goes into my budget for future spending. So, i.e., trips to and from volunteer events or for things that can't be purchased online. So, I purchased over 36 different 5-blade razors that I can give out because that's a thing you don't think about that homeless people aren't going to have access to. It's a fucking leg razor. Dignity. I want to give people dignity. That is such a huge part of this. But yeah, so I took some of the money to do that, for instance, and buy soap. It was the most affordable place to buy it. It was at Dollar Tree. So I went and bought 32 bars of soap so I can take that, put them together, and make care kits. So we're waiting on toothpaste right now, which is coming in the mail.
Good
But that is
God.
how you help, and thank you so much just for even listening to me about this. I
Oh,
appreciate having a platform to speak about it.
I have a couple things I want to run by you
Yeah, by all
once I
means.
hit
I got
end
time.
on the recording. But
Yes.
Ivy Minxxx has been our guest. If you want to find us each and every week, it's xbiz.tv. We also have this on jiggyjaguar.com. And since it is the porn show, I can say the P word, which is podcast. You can find us on iHeartRadio and all the other various places. Thanks to you. You are doing some amazing stuff, and I am just so goddamn proud of you. And
Thank you.
thanks for making some time. I will talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.